Hey everybody, Soundrez here. Obviously I've been meaning to do a Sonic Forces review, so I figured it's a little late, but hey, I want to get my thoughts out on it, so might as well. I'm gonna try and make this actually a quick video, unlike last time, where I thought, oh, this is gonna be a 5-minute video. Turns out to be 15 minutes. So, this one's gonna be a little less comedic and less satire-filled, but if you want something more comedic and satire-filled, you can go ahead and watch that last video I put up about my thoughts before Sonic Forces came out. So, I'm gonna hopefully put a link to it right here, because that's what people do on these videos, I guess. Woo, magic. Woo. Okay, so I got my little notes written out here for it. I basically split this up into categories, and I'm going to give a number out of 10 for each of these. So, let's get into this thing. Okay, let's go ahead, pop in that game real quick. We're going to see where it is. Okay, I think... Okay, I don't have the case for it, so I left it in one of the other games. Let's see. It's in one of these somewhere. I'm trying to open this one-handed. It's not the easiest thing. Let's look up. Oh, okay. Where we're just gonna ignore that one there. Go on. Try. Ah, there we go. Found it. Okay. Go ahead and let's. I'm gonna. Alright, I'm gonna try doing this not rehearsed and just go through it, so I'm gonna be reading things. Let's see. So we're gonna start off, this is in a terrible order, but I'm just gonna do it anyways. We're starting off with the music. The music, basically, it ranges from good to absolutely terrible at times. It's for the most part, it's good. But the problem I have with it, it's very samey. The composer uses the same I can speak, trust me. The same synthesizers and a lot of the same melodies and beats in it, and it comes out very samey. The whole thing, oddly enough, I get a huge early 2000s Europop vibe from this. Like I can't help but think back in the high school days where I used to listen to DJ Satomi a lot. I mean, definitely sounds like DJ Satomi to me. So, not a bad thing. A little different for a Sonic game, but it's still good. But the other problem I have with it is because it sounds the same, it doesn't really fit the levels a lot of the times. Sonic games tend to fit levels, whereas like Seaside Hill, you get very smooth, calming, simple guitar riffs into it. Mystic Mansion, you get kind of spooky, low tones vibes. Space Levels, you get like the hardcore rock techno vibe out of it. On this one, since it all sounds the same, you don't get that. You don't get music that's very fitting for the levels. One that stands out to me is Ghost Town, the first 2D Sonic level that comes across. And it's a level called Ghost Town. And then it's like in the background, it's a destroyed city, and there's giant robots blowing up everything, destroying everything, and yet the music is like what? The music's fine, but it's so unfitting for what's going on. It's weird. I don't know. So I'm giving the music 7 out of 10. It's good, but it's off like that for those reasons. Whatever. The next one, the story, because everybody's loving the story in this game, of course. It has a lot of potential, and I like some things that they did. I like a lot of what they did for Robotnik. He's a little more menacing now, and Infinite's okay as a character and as a villain, but everything just falls so flat. It's like they just try and half-ass everything, basically. The story is basically from a starting point and a finishing point, and nothing in the middle of it. It's, Robotnik's taken over, we need to beat him, and Robotnik is done. We beat him. Yay! And there's everything in between those points is so insignificant and pointless, like nothing happens. Basically what just happens is, we got a chance to fight Robotnik, we need to strike back. We got a chance to fight Robotnik, we need to strike back. We got a chance to fight okay, fucking... There's sometimes, okay, we see Infinite, him and Sonic fight, nothing really happens out of it. We see Classic Sonic come in, nothing really happens out of it. lots of things happen, but they're so insignificant to the story. It's pointless. So yeah, the story's practically non-existent at this point. Speaking of Classic Sonic, it doesn't really help. He's shoehorned into this game. There is absolutely no point to have Classic Sonic in this. He's there for the nostalgia factor, and that's literally it. His gameplay could have easily been done by the Avatar or Modern Sonic. There's no point to having him here. Oh, and Infinite, of course. Infinite, he's such a weak character. He's interesting, and I kind of like him, which is nice because I didn't like him before at all. But especially his backstory, it's so weak. Like his backstory is, and spoilers for this, oh boo-hoo. When you do the Shadow DLC, it's Infinite's a mercenary fighting for Robotnik, and he goes up against Shadow. Shadow easily defeats him and calls him weak. And Infinite does this huge thing, I'm not weak! And he pulls a Darth Vader no moment out of it, and after that it switches to, after that day I decide to throw away my face and become more powerful, and now he has the Phantom Ruby on him. It's like, okay, did we just skip a bunch of chapters or something? How did you get the Phantom Ruby on you? How did you become more powerful? Did you ask Robotnik for it? Did you steal it from him? Did Robotnik decide to give it to you? Like, it's like you just skipped a whole bunch of things and just boom, that's it. I'm more powerful now. Yay! Oh, okay. I also don't like the fact that with Infinite as a character, there's no rules to him. There's no rules to the Phantom Ruby. Nothing is established what the Phantom Ruby can and can't do. And because of that, you don't have these rules set, and because there's no rule set, the writers can just do whatever they want with it. There's no limits, and you need limits. Or else you can just say, oh, he can do whatever he wants. Oh, we have some problem with the story? Oh, we can just fill it in because he can do this now. You need these limitations. And it doesn't have that, so it's... ugh. And then at the end of the game, you just beat Infinite and he goes away. Just... I guess Robotnik absorbed him or something. It's not explained, but he just goes away. Alright, whatever. Great. So, story, it's so stupid. It's 4 out of 10. Oh, then we get to the writing, especially the character writing. The writing, it goes with the story. The story is crap. The writing for the story is crap. Whatever. Character writing, it's better. Sonic is witty, and he does some good things, made some little one-liners and stuff, made me chuckle. Okay, that's good. Then a lot of the characters, I feel like they just set it up where we need a character to fill this role. Let's just pick one and throw him into it. Like, Knuckles is the commander of the Resistance. Knuckles. The guy who's known to be a dim-witted hothead. The guy who Robotnik has basically tricked at least half a dozen times. He's the leader of the Resistance? Really? Okay, no, it's not like we have a character that's already established to be like a brilliant mind on the same scale as Robotnik and a brilliant strategist. Oh wait, we don't, because it's Tails, and he's been resorted to a driveling pile of schlock in this. I like the word schlock. No, seriously, it's so pathetic what they did to Tails. In this one, he's so reliant on Sonic. He is nothing in this. Where, take in Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2. Sonic Adventure, he goes up against Robotnik in the Egg Walker in Station Square. And when that happened, Tails is like, Sonic's not here. I'm the only one that can stop Robotnik. I can do this. Sonic Adventure 2. At the end of the game, Robotnik blasts Sonic out into space, jettisons him out of the space station and blows him up. Everyone thinks Sonic's dead. Tails is like, no! Sonic's gone! I'm going to fight you, Robotnik! In this one, Chaos appears. What does Tails do? Oh, great. Thanks a lot, Sega. There's about 18 years of character development out the window. Good job. Wow. So, it's weird choices for the characters. The other weird thing I had with it, and this is more of a voice acting thing, but I get a lot of them have new voice actors and voice actresses, but Rouge's. I understand. Rouge is the sexual appeal character. She's got the bust and everything, but the voice actress makes everything she says sounds like she's in some kind of phone sex hotline. Like, I'm not joking. It's so awkward to listen to. It's like she's trying to overly put on the sexual appeal. It's... Nope, not doing it. Writing, character writing, 5 out of 10. Going into the gameplay. Gameplay, it's a lot of the same. It's the same, and it's, like I said in the previous video, it's Sega, it's their epitome of the boost to win gameplay. You hold down the boost button and you win. I'm gonna get more into that in the level design stuff, but the boosting does feel better in certain cases, like bursting through the speed and jumping while boosting feels a little better, so that's fine and all. The weird thing that a lot of people have pointed this out, and it's funny because you don't have to play the game, you can see this point, is that Sonic seems to run in gears. Whereas you start off, usually Sonic, when you're running, you have that gradual momentum from stopped to, okay, we're getting faster and go. In this one, you go stop, walking, jogging, and boom! It's like, there's no gradual increase. And this is, by the way, this is without pressing the boost button. This is just regular running. It's just start levels 1, 2, 10. It just pushes you. It just like skips everything, and it's really odd to do that, especially in platforming sections. It really throws you off at times. Not a great thing.
Okay, one more quick thing to add, just because I've had a little bit more time to play it at this point, is that there's a constant forward momentum always pushing you, and this makes it a big problem, especially in platforming sections, 2D sections to be exact, is that especially even when jumping, it's constantly pushing you forwards, and you can't redirect your course very easily. I had a big problem with Infinite's second boss battle, actually, just because of this. In that 2D fight, where those red platforms came out of the ground, I would be running into an open area, and I would constantly slide past it into the next obstacle, because it's always pushing me. Even going slow at a jogging pace, not fully running, you still slide. You can't come to a stop very easily. That's a big problem.
The other thing with the gameplay, this game is so easy. It's pathetic what Sega did for this. They've dumbed down everything in this game, including the ranking system. The rankings, when you finish a level, the rankings, it starts at C. C-B-A-S. You can't go lower than a level C. Like, why? We got rid of the D's and the E's, or the F's, or whatever. Like, Sega makes you want to feel so good about yourself, apparently. Like, apparently you can't fail at this. Even the QuickTime events, where you have to wait for the button press, the little circle comes up and contrasts, and you have to press it at the right time. Even if, like, you press it immediately, there's no messing it up. You can't fail it. You still get a good. And you can't fail it. The minimum is good. You did a good job. Everybody gets a participation award, apparently, in this game. Yay! Because that's what we need. We need no skill levels. There's no difficulty in this game. And it doesn't feel rewarding at all. Gameplay, 7 out of 10. Now we get to the fun part, the level design. Now, me personally, I find level design to be the most important thing in a Sonic game. Whereas classic Sonic games, they're built around the levels, where it's made to focus on momentum, of course, to build momentum, and each part of the level builds on that. Whereas, for example, we're going to go down a hill, and it's going to launch me off of here. We're going to land on this platform, but if you jump just at the right time, we'll be able to jump to another platform, which will boost us into another section. It's all momentum-based, and it flows well. Sonic Forces, a bulk of their level design goes running, stop, we're gonna jump up here, running, stop, we're gonna jump down here, we're gonna jump over here, running, stop, I'm gonna go down here. It's so much stop and go, and it just kills any momentum. There are sections of momentum, of course there's long sections that you can just boost straight through, but yeah, that's holding a button and pressing forward that's fun. The other thing I don't like is that there's a lot of... Sonic Forces is a very pretty game. I didn't review anything on graphics, but it's obvious. It's pretty. It's really good graphics. Sure. It's next gen. It's got a lot of pretty backgrounds, a lot of pretty things in the background, but you never really do anything with that. A lot of the level design in it is it's like Little Big Planet, where we're just taking chunks of levels and copy pasting them around. And it's funny. I just recently been watching a couple other people play the game online, and at least 3 of the levels end in you going down a shaft and landing in a big open hallway, like underground or something, and just boosting forward to the finish. And swear to God, that big open hallway, it's exactly the same. I can guarantee you that is the exact same model, 3D render model, except they just filled it with different things. It's so lazy. It's so terrible. But yeah, they have such pretty backgrounds and everything, and you don't really do anything with it. You don't get these moments where you're running through the buildings that much. Most of the time, it's just, yeah, you see them in the background, and that's it. Whatever. A big thing with the gameplay is they have what I am calling the illusion of success. And that we're going to fill the level with tons of things. We have tons of enemies. There's enemies literally comes in packs of like dozens of them at a time. But they don't do anything. They stand there. Maybe they'll shoot at you every once in a while, but they're just there for cannon fodder. You boost right through them so easily. And then we have rings. There's hundreds of rings in these levels. It's absolutely mind-boggling. You'll finish these levels with 400, 500 rings at times so easily. It's crazy. There's sections where it's a hallway, and there's literally 80 rings in that hall. Like, it's... oh my... God, it's so terrible. Because there's no skill involved. What it is, I call it the illusion of success. Because these things are placed there to make you feel good. It's lots of feel-good moments. Instead of actually making a challenge for you, instead of making good level design, we're going to fill it with all these feel-good moments to make you go, wow, I just destroyed tons of enemies. Oh man, I'm awesome at this. I finished the level with 400 rings. Dude, I'm a pro at this. Oh my god, yeah, I'm awesome. And sure, it'll make you feel good, but like for that like quick minute or there. But when you replay that level, it's like, oh, I realize there's nothing to this. It's full of nothing. So it's... that's my problem with Sonic Team. Or, I don't know if it's Sonic Team anymore, Sega, whatever. But they just, instead of fixing their level design, they're just going to throw in all these little gimmicks and other things to distract you from it. They've been doing this since Sonic Unleashed. It's really annoying. So, yeah, level design, 3 out of 10. It's terrible. The big thing with Sonic Forces is the avatar, of course. The avatar, it's nice that we have these customization things. There's a lot of items. I would have preferred that they had like some kind of color slider that we could pick the color of each item instead of having individual items of only a couple different colors in them. Whatever, not a big deal. The weapons, whatever. There's some good ones. There's some terrible ones. The problem with it is there's a couple really good ones, and once you get those, you're gonna use those and nothing else. There's no point in having the other ones at this point, really. The gameplay, it's back to the other gameplay thing. It's a lot of stop and go. It can be very slow at times, especially with the grappling hook. I don't get the grappling hook. Why when it shoots it, you literally pause in midair. Why do we have that? Why do we have that pause? Why can't it just be just flow right through it? So many stop and go moments with this game. It's not Sonic when you're using so much stop and go. The other funny thing about the avatar, so much hype built up over the avatar. You barely use it in this game. There's like, what, 3 or 4 avatar stages and a couple tag team stages with Sonic. It's so much hype built up around it, and when you get these stages that are so short, these stages can be done in a minute and a half, and that's not speed running them. That's just typical minute and a half, 2 minutes, just playing it regularly for the first time. And when you have these moments that are so short, these stages that are so short, things like the avatar, it's so underwhelming. So, Avatar, there's nothing really to complain about it. It's just, it could have been so much more. 7 out of 10. So, that's pretty much every main score. Here's the thing with Forces. People are going to compare it to Mania and Generations. That's a given. Mania because it's the most recent Sonic game that came out, and the most recent game that was very successful. Sonic Generations because it was the most recent successful 3D focused Sonic. Now, the difference between Mania, Generations, and Forces. Mania Generations had a focus. Mania focused on classic 2D Sonic and levels. Generations focused on a little bit more. We had the 3D Sonic, the modern Sonic, and the 2D classic Sonic. But they still had the similar designs of levels. It was still kind of 3D-ish. Sonic Forces tries to cram all of that and more in, where we have the 3D modern Sonic, we have the 2D classic Sonic, we have the Avatar now, we have the customization levels, the tag team levels. They're trying to throw in so many things, and because of that, the skill of the team is spread thin over these things. When you have a specific focus, like Mania Generations did, you're able to focus all your attention on these items, whereas in Sonic Forces, we have so many different focuses, and your mind just goes all over the place. Basically, when I was in art school, I had one of my teachers. He was asking us what we wanted to do for careers, and when he asked me, I said, I got a lot of things I like to do. I like to do 3D modeling, some storyboarding, some animation, and he told me it's good to have a lot of things that you like to do, but you want to focus on one specific thing, because when you have one specific thing, it's really good. It's really good to have one thing you're great at, rather than a bunch of things that you're just okay at. Because when you have a bunch of things, like I said, your focus is spread out. But when you have one thing to focus on, you can put all your attention onto that one thing. So it's better to have just that one thing, and not all these things. And that's the problem Sonic Forces has. It tries to do way too much, and because of that, it doesn't have that focus, that drive. So yeah, overall, Sonic Forces, it's just okay. It's not a good game. It's not a terrible game. It's not on the levels of Sonic 06 or Sonic Boom, but it's by no means a good game. It's short levels. The level design is terrible. The story is non-existent. Gameplay is just okay. But it's good. It's good for short bursts, I guess, short mindless fun. But in the long run, there's a lot to do, lots of side missions and stuff. But it all boils down to being exactly the same thing, the same problem. It's all too short, it's all over too soon, and it's just not very fun in general. Overall, I'm giving Sonic Forces 5 out of 10. Not terrible, but not good. So yeah, that's my Sonic Forces review. Thanks for listening, guys. Ciao.